To say Dr. Fizzwizzle took me by surprise would be a huge understatement. The front of the box certainly looks like shovelware, the graphics don't make it not look like shovelware, but it's actually one of the most fun and creative spins on a classic game genre I've seen. Dr. Fizzwizzle is, in essence, a breakout game, but there's a lot more to it than that. If there were a tagline I would use to advertise Dr. Fizzwizzle, it would be, "It's like a breakout mixed with Katamari." You bounce a big ball around the stage, and the more objects the ball breaks, the larger the ball gets, and the objective of each stage is to collect as many animals as possible by rolling them up in your breakout ball. It's quite a novel concept, and I haven't seen it done elsewhere. I'm not going to say it's the only version of the concept, but it is certainly different. The ball growing larger and larger as the stage progresses does ensure the stage gets easier as it goes on, but I'm not sure that's really a problem. It's also quite satisfying in a way that I don't find normal breakout games are, in the fact that the bricks, or rather barrels in this case, take more hits to break at the start, but take less hits as your ball gets bigger, meaning eventually your ball will actually just straight up tear through the stage like a monster as it collects everything and your score multiplies like crazy. There's also quite a bit more to the breakout formula than just breaking crates, fences, and barrels and collecting animals. Each animal is a different size, requiring your pinball thing to be a different size, and some animals have to be gotten in different ways than others. For example, some animals will perch and need to be knocked off their perch first. There are also many ways to interact with the environment. Some crates will bust open and yield apples for your ball to collect, making it larger. You can hit trees, which causes power-ups to fall down, the power-ups being more similar to normal breakout or Arkanoid power-ups. And sometimes even if you don't collect an animal, they still have a unique reaction that affects the environment or gameplay in some fashion. There are also hazards like toxic waste barrels, which will lower your score if you hit them and raise your score if you do not. What I'm saying is, every time your ball hits something, something interesting happens. Either something new falls down for you to pick up, you get an animal, you get a power-up, you smash through something. There's just no end to the constant level of interaction until there's that one last animal you just can't fucking get. Stage layouts can feel a bit samey, but that's more because of the overemphasis on satisfaction than the stage layouts actually being bad or anything. Now, while watching this, you may have noticed that sometimes the ball seems to have a mind of its own, and does not obey general laws of breakout physics. This is not a glitch in the game, in fact it is a very interesting feature. Dr. Fizzwizzle's paddle comes with a fan on either side, allowing you to blow the ball in any direction you choose, assuming your fan meter is not completely depleted at the time. This allows you maximum control of your ball, meaning that you can make it do basically whatever the hell you want. The air fan mechanic, which allows us to gently push our ball around or hold the fan down to break through some peskier objects, works very nicely with the combo system. The more animals our ball collects without touching our paddle, the higher our combo gets, to a maximum of 10. It's even possible to go an entire stage without letting your ball touch the paddle at all by using the fan wisely. I've only had this happen once, but I never claim to be super good at the game. It's just a game that's not easy to fail at. But eventually, as the game progresses, you will get expert control of the ball, and it will just be a smorgasbord of the ball wrecking absolutely everything in a stage in some sort of Dynasty Warriors Katamari breakout hybrid, and it's immensely satisfying. So I'm sure you can get the appeal of the game. It's more satisfying to break objects and watch shit fly around the screen as your souped up Mega Ball destroys everything, similar to the satisfaction you would get from Katamari or Dynasty Warriors. And in addition, you have much greater control of the ball than in other games similar to this, which allows for a greater variety in strategy. You may feel this makes the game a bit easy, especially since this game came out in 2009 and, like any sane game, does come with the continue feature, which is extra good since the game is about 4 hours long. And I assume the developers agreed with you because this is where their attempt at challenge comes into play. You see, to cross from one island to the next, you need a certain amount of money being a power-up that drops from trees as you're seeing here. The thing is that when you lose all of your balls and have to continue, your money goes away. So you need to stay alive long enough and not use a continue long enough to accumulate enough money to get to the next island. I found this a bit tedious as the price to get from one island to another increases exponentially in the late game, requiring you to go back and grind, and it's not even a great challenge since you can grind any stage in the game. So you can just pick the easiest stage or the stage you're best at and play that one over and over until you have adequate money. It's sort of just filler, which is weird, because even without said filler, the game is around 4 hours long. You can circumvent this by simply picking easy mode, which will allow you to pass through any of the money checkpoints without having to actually collect the money, and then you can switch back to the normal gameplay mode. Which is what I did, frankly, because I didn't feel like grinding for money after the first few times. It just seemed like a waste. But aside from that one issue, if you plan to play the game through normal all the way, it's a really satisfying experience. There's some sort of primal satisfaction in the idea of Katamari and watching a giant ball absolutely wreck everything, and the added control you get over the ball with the vent system means it's more satisfying than it normally would have been, because you feel like you have more control over what your ball wrecks exactly. I've never been any good at breakout games, and I didn't particularly enjoy them, so I tried to stay away from them, but if there was a way to make a breakout game enjoyable for me specifically, this was definitely it. I can't say whether Breakout fans would enjoy the game, but I found it satisfying for the same reason I find Muso games and, well, Katamari satisfying. As a last aside, this game is incredibly considerate toward all age groups and players, as there is a kids mode available that makes it impossible to lose, and it supports every control method available on the Wii U. The classic controller, the Wii Remote by itself, the Wii Remote nunchuck, and even the balance board, so you can play any way you like. Granted, the controls for some of those are pretty bad, and I use the nunchuck exclusively, but it's nice that they included everything possible. So yes, if it's not clear, I really like Dr. Fizzwizzle's Animal Rescue. Took me completely by surprise, and even though it was a bit long for my taste, considering I beat it in just 2 sittings and I was not expecting it to be that long, I still don't regret purchasing it, and I'm glad I could play it. If you don't feel like playing it on the Wii, also available on PC. Alright, that's finally it. Bye.